celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
From the Gates Gymnasium on the campus of Bethel University, the Regional Radio Sports.
Maybe it was a big thing, like helping you land the perfect internship. Maybe it was something small, like offering a sympathetic listening ear when you missed your family. It might have been advice about your choice of major, spiritual guidance, or how to deal with roommate conflicts. Whatever it was, you knew that you were seen and heard. You walked away a little lighter, a little more confident, knowing that someone else was walking this journey with you. At Bethel University, we're more than an academic institution. Yes, we're proud of our internationally recognized programs. Students come to Bethel to be equipped for success in over 50 fields of study, from residential undergraduate to online master's degrees. But they stay because they're not walking alone. 7 in 10 residential students are active in one-on-one mentoring or small groups. From the dedicated faculty to friendly staff, everyone at Bethel cares deeply about helping you prepare for what you were meant to do. Because we all believe you're meant to do incredible things for God's kingdom. And it's true. Bethel alumni are active in 65 nations around the world. What connects you to Bethel? There's no question. It's the relationships and community that give purpose to everything you gain here. At Bethel University, we see you. At Bethel University, we know you, and we'll connect your passion with a pathway to impact the world for Christ. Be true. Be blue. Be you at Bethel University.
It was awfully one-sided in the stat category for IUSB, but that doesn't mean that the Pilots got shut out on the road in Marion, Indiana.
That's right. Peyton Hart had 8 kills. Abby Arnold had 6 blocks. Bridget Downs racked up 17 digs. And Madison Beaver had 16 assists in a 3-set loss.
When we come back, we're going to sit down with Katie Weiss, get her thoughts on this matchup. Today's game on the Regional Radio Sports Network is sponsored by First Source Bank. First Source Bank proudly supports Bethel University students, faculty, staff, and alumni with personal banking services. First Source Bank is a proud supporter of BU Athletics.
Take advantage of the Turkey Time Test Drive giveaway at any of Gates Automotive locations in Michiana. During November, take a no-hassle, no-obligation valet test drive and get a free turkey or ham for your holiday dinner. Choose from over 1,000 vehicles at Gates Chevy World, Gates Toyota, Gates of Granger, or Gates of Elkhart. For more information, go to www.gatesautomotive.com.
Before we get into the Crossroads League matchup between the Wildcats and the Pilots, we sat down. Katie Weiss got her thoughts on not only clinching the playoff spot, but also her opponent, the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. Welcome back to Bethel University Pilots Volleyball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Glad to be joined pregame by the head coach of the Pilots, Katie Weiss. And Katie, last time out, big win over Spring Arbor University. You were able to clinch a playoff spot. One of the players that really stepped up was A.J. McDonald, quietly becoming one of the top players on your squad. What has made her such a solid player that we really don't talk a whole lot about, but she has played extremely well for you this season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how you said she's quietly becoming a player. She's quiet, but part of that is she's just consistent. So she's not on a roller coaster of emotion, and that has helped her to develop over time into this great player because she just stays very level-headed. She's had some weak spots in the beginning of the season where she's had to learn to control out-of-system balls, and she has worked so hard at that and has improved tremendously, and so that's why she has the success now that she has.
Now that you guys have clinched a playoff spot, does any of the mentality change, stronger, harder practices, etc., does that change now that you know you're in the Crossroads League field, or is it just status quo as you guys have been from the beginning of the season?
I think that we're just hungrier than ever. It feels great to win 3 in a row, and nobody wants that to stop. And so I don't know if the playoffs matter at all. At this point, we still have 3 conference games. And so I'm not even thinking playoffs at this point. We're just thinking, let's keep winning. Let's go. Let's keep fighting.
Since the loss against Indiana Wesleyan last month, what have you learned about your team, and what have you learned about yourself since that time? And it seems so long ago that you guys last played them, but you guys have come a long way in such a short time.
Yeah, sure. It does seem like a long time ago, and we've learned a lot of things. Every match, and specifically losses, teach you a lot, and so we've learned different things that we've got to control. And part of that again is just out of system. Our team is out of system too much, and so we've worked hard at serving tougher, at serve receive, so we're passing better than ever, and then controlling it when we don't get a great set. We've still got to execute, and so we've worked really hard on that since then, and I think we've really improved.
You got a couple of big home matches tonight against Indiana Wesleyan, and I know coaches don't like to look ahead, but tomorrow against Mount Vernon Nazarene. How do you guys, as a coaching staff, keep your kids grounded? The emotions are going to be high tomorrow afternoon. I believe it's senior day for you guys against Mount Vernon Nazarene. But how do you keep everyone grounded and keep the emotions to a minimum in these 2 big conference home matchups?
I think that, honestly, over the last few years, we haven't had enough emotion, so I'm not afraid of emotion as long as we're pushing it in the right direction. We don't want to get low, but I love it when this team is high on emotion. They are so much fun to watch, and they just play better when they're excited. And so, you know what, at this point in the season, we've done this dance. We know, IWU's tough. We know tomorrow's going to be big. But we're suited up for it. We're ready. We're going to give them all we've got, and hopefully, we will use some emotion in that game.
Candace Moats brings her Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats in, number 4 ranked team in the nation, 24-1. You know all the stats. Throw the numbers and all that away. What makes them such a tough opponent to play against night in, night out?
They're tough because they're talented in every position. Most teams have a weakness or 2 or 3, and she really doesn't. She just has strong hitters in every spot. She's got great passers back row. They're in system constantly. It doesn't matter where the ball goes. They've got someone that can hit it well. And so, those are the issues that it's hard to get 2 blockers on their hitters because they come fast at you, and all of them can execute well. So you can't even really say just worry about this hitter because all 3 hitters in the front can put the ball away.
What are some of the keys tonight to defeat Indiana Wesleyan?
So for us tonight, we've got to block well. And that means even if we can't get 2, then we surround on 1 and we block well, and then we've got to dig a ball. And then again, if we don't get down and we stay up, I think we'll battle well.
Best of luck tonight, Katie.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back to the Gates Gymnasium. J.P. Gilbert along with Dante Stanton. The Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats coming in with a record of 28-1, 14-1 out of conference, taking on the Bethel University Pilots, 12-20, 5-10 in conference play. Glad you could join us for Crossroads League action. The Pilots coming in winners of 3 straight. They've also won 4 at home. And Dante and Bethel's last match, a big win over Spring Arbor, got them into the conference tournament, and it's a huge confidence boost for Coach Katie Weiss and her club.
That's right, and in the win over Spring Arbor, A.J. McDonald managed to rack up 10 kills. Madison Beaver had 32 digs, Downs had 17 digs, and Peyton Hart also racked up 11 digs. The Pilots are 9-2 over their last 3 matches, 9-6 versus sub-500 teams, 3-14 versus above 500 teams, and have not beat Indiana Wesleyan since 2017.
Yeah, that last win for Bethel was also the last time the Pilots have won at home. Indiana Wesleyan leads the all-time series between these two clubs, 28-5, and they're currently on a 4-match winning streak. The last matchup for Indiana Wesleyan, they defeated the University of St. Francis down in Marion, Indiana on Wednesday night by a score of 25-21, 25-14, and 25-22. They hit 173 as a team. Rachel Klitzing and Kelly Miller led the way with 10 kills. Alex Falcone had 35 assists, and Abigail Rutt and Haven Gates had 19 digs. This is a team that has 4 rankings as a team in the top 20 of NAIA. They're number 2 in assists at almost 14 per game, and also number 2 in kills with almost 15 a game. And if Katie Weiss's Lady Pilots are going to stand a chance, they've got to have a good, solid defensive game. And that wasn't necessarily the case the last time these two teams met back in September, but they gave Iwu all they could handle in 3 sets.
That's right. Back in that September matchup, Peyton Hart had 8 kills, Abby Arnold had 6 blocks, Bridget Downs had 17 digs, and Madison Beaver racked up 16 assists in the 3-set loss. Taking
a look around the Crossroads League, up at the top is Indiana Wesleyan. They are the number 4 team in the country. They are 14-1 in the Crossroads League, 28-1 overall. They are 12-0 away from the friendly confines of Marion, Indiana. They've won 8 straight matches, but even more impressive, they have won 24 straight games. They're on an 8-game winning streak. The only loss of the season coming to the team that's below them in the standings. That's the number 15 ranked Marion Knights at 14-1, 26-1 overall. They have won 15 straight matchups. In third, St. Francis at 11-5. They're 20-11 overall. Mount Vernon Nazarene is at 10-6. They are 23-8 overall. St. Francis, we should mention, has received votes in the last NAIA volleyball poll. In fifth is the Grace Lancers. They are a game behind Mount Vernon Nazarene for that last home court playoff spot in the first round of the Crossroads League volleyball tournament. Taylor, 8-8. They are 19-15 overall. The Huntington Foresters are 6-10, 14-17 overall. Then come the Pilots, 5-10. They have just clinched the final spot in the 2019 Crossroads League tournament. They're 5-10, 12-20 overall, having won 3 in a row. Then come the Goshen Maple Leafs, 1-14, 7-25 overall, and rounding out the field are the Spring Arbor Cougars, 0-16, 6-19 overall. Taking a look at the schedule of Crossroads League matchups this weekend, we start at the top. Indiana Wesleyan is at Bethel. Marion travels to St. Francis as they try to keep pace with the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats for that number 1 seed in the conference tournament. Then we've got the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars. They travel to Taylor to take on the Taylor Trojans. And the Spring Arbor Cougars will battle it out with the Goshen College Maple Leafs. Tomorrow, a full slate of 5 matches in the Crossroads League. Mount Vernon Nazarene comes into town to take on Bethel. And that match will be heard right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Paul Condry, Ronna Klinsky, and Tanya Condry will be here at Gates Gymnasium. It'll be a double dip for Mr. Condrey and company, as they'll have volleyball at 2 and basketball at 6. The Goshen College Maple Leafs will travel to Taylor to take on the Trojans. Indiana Wesleyan will take on the Huntington Foresters. The Marion Knights will make way to Winona Lake, and they'll take on the Grace College Lancers. And Spring Arbor will head to St. Francis to take on the Cougars in an all-Cougars matchup down in Fort Wayne. If the playoffs started right now, Indiana Wesleyan would take on Bethel down in Marion, Indiana. Marion with an O, not Marion with an A. The Marion Knights would host the Huntington Foresters. St. Francis Cougars would host Taylor, and Mount Vernon Nazarene would host the Grace Lancers. Both teams warming up on their respective sides. Pilots in the white tops with the blue numbers. Pilots across the shoulder blades in blue. And Indiana Wesleyan in the charcoal colored tops, trimmed in white and red. The numbers will be in white on the front and the back, and Wildcats across the shoulder blades in white on the back of the uniforms. And Dante, some final thoughts between these two teams. Bethel pretty much with nothing to lose at this point. They're already in the conference tournament. The only thing Indiana Wesleyan doesn't want to do is they don't want to come out flat and give Bethel any kind of momentum, because they know that if things go right, these two teams will meet back up in the quarterfinals of the Crossroads League tournament.
That's right, and Bethel's not simply going to lie down here and let I will roll over them. This is going to be a hard-fought battle all the way around, and I know Bethel's going to try their hardest. Just because they don't have anything to lose here doesn't mean that they're going to try to lose, obviously. They're going to put all their effort into this game, and it's going to be a good matchup.
Candace Moats, in her 18th season as the head coach of Indiana Wesleyan, comes in 867 wins against 357 losses. She's assisted by Dan Bergeron and graduate assistant Ariana Anderson. 10th straight 20-win seasons for Indiana Wesleyan. If the Wildcats win 2 more matches this season, it'll be the 11th such season under Candace Moats. And for the Bethel University Pilots, Katie Weiss in her 3rd season, 36-62 on the season, 17-34 in the Crossroads League. She's assisted by Lisa DeJesus, Kristen Mitchell, and Hannah Curtis. The two teams getting last-minute instructions from their coaches. Indiana Wesleyan will go from right to left on your computer screen or mobile device. The Pilots will go from left to right in this opening game, and we're going to send it down for the opening prayer, as well as the starting lineups and the national anthem, as the Pilots and Wildcats line up on their respective end lines. And we're set to send it downstairs to get this one underway.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Bethel University for tonight's contest between the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan University and your Bethel University Pilots. Bethel University welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to tonight's match. As participants in the NAIA's Champions of Character Initiative, we ask each of you to help create a positive, competitive environment by showing respect for one another. On behalf of the Crossroads League and Bethel University, please enjoy tonight's match. This time we'll ask that everyone please stand, and gentlemen, kindly remove your hats for an opening prayer, followed by the playing of our national anthem. Let's pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for the opportunity that we have to honor you through the game of volleyball. We thank you for safety and travel, for players, coaches, officials, fans alike. And Father, now for the opportunity to honor you with the excellence by which we play. We do ask for protection from injury tonight as players give their all. Pray that you would enable them to have joy in the competition. Father, we pray that you would help all of us to be able to encourage and cheer with proper perspective in mind, to honor you with not only that which we do and say, but even the very attitudes of our hearts. God, we thank you for this opportunity, and we pray that you would be glorified. In Christ's name, amen. Indiana Wesleyan University. Beginning with the non-starters tonight, a 5'10 freshman from Calgary, Canada, wearing number 3, Seagreen Mack. A 5'9 junior from Paducah, Indiana, number 5, Megan Brady. A 5'11 junior from Goshen, Indiana, number 7, Marcy Miller. A 6'2 senior from Ada, Ohio, number 8, Linnea Clay. A 5'3 senior from Naperville, Illinois, number 10, Ann Fong. A 6'2 sophomore from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 11, Tara Keeler. A 5'9 freshman from Centerville, Michigan, wearing number 13, Samara Schlaba. And a 5'11 sophomore from Liberty Township, Ohio, wearing number 16, Ariel Swain. And now introducing your starters for the Wildcats. A 5'9 senior from Sellersburg, Indiana, number 1, Alex Falcone. A 5'9 junior from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, number 4, Abigail Rutt. A 6'3 junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 9, Rachel Blitzen. A 5'9 sophomore from Cicero, Indiana, wearing number 12, Anna Collard. A 5'11 senior from Goshen, Indiana, number 14, Kelly Miller. And a 6'0 junior from Quincy, Illinois, wearing number 15, Allison Sparrow. Libero for the Wildcats tonight, a 5'6 freshman from Selma, Indiana, number 2, David Gates. The Wildcats are coached by Candace Rhodes, assisted by Dan Burton and Ariana Anderson. And now introducing the players for your Bethel University Pilots. Tonight, beginning with your non-starters, a 5'5 freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, wearing number 2, Kennedy Kent. A 5'6 freshman from Valparaiso, Indiana, number 4, Rachel Bendel. A 6'1 freshman from Elkhart, Indiana, wearing number 8, Sue Vandenbrink. A 6'2 freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, wearing number 12, Isabel North. A 5'7 junior from Elkhart, Indiana, number 13, Mackenzie Williams. A 5'3 freshman from Bern, Indiana, wearing number 15, Hannah Dahl. A 5'9 freshman from Bern, Indiana, wearing number 17, Shaylin Bowman. And a 5'8 sophomore from South Bend, Indiana, number 18, Megan Kozinski. And now your starters for the Pilots tonight, a 5'9 junior from Goshen, Indiana, wearing number 1, Kelsey Rosta. A 5'9 junior from Kendallville, Indiana, number 6, Peyton Hart. A 6'0 junior from Valparaiso, Indiana, number 9, Abby Arnold. A 6'1 sophomore from Allentown, Pennsylvania, wearing number 10, Madison Beaver. A 5'11 freshman from Kalamazoo, Michigan, number 14, Kelsey Friedema. A 6'1 senior from Anchorage, Alaska, wearing number 16, AJ McDonald. And the tonight for the Pilots, a 5'5 senior from Lexington, Kentucky, wearing number 11, Bridget Downs. The Pilots are coached by Katie Weeks, assisted by Lisa DeJesus, Hannah Curtis, and Kristen Mitchell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll direct your attention to the center court, we're ready to get tonight's match underway.
So there you have today's starting lineups for both the Pilots and the Wildcats. It'll be Falcone, Gates, Rutt, Klitzing, Collar, Miller, and Sparrow. For the Wildcats, it'll be Grosdorf, Hart, Arnold, Beaver, Downs, Fiedema, and McDonald. For the Pilots, as both teams huddle up on their respective sides, we're set to get this match underway between the 12-20 Bethel University Pilots and the 28-1 Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. Katie Weiss in her 3rd season in charge of the Pilots. Team that went 10-21 just a season ago. Taking on the Wildcats under the direction of Candace Moats. 22-12 last season. 14-4 in the Crossroads League. They lost in the Crossroads League semifinals a year ago, hoping to erase the memory of that one. They haven't had a losing season since 2009, where they went 11-31. Since then, it's been nothing but 20-win seasons for the Wildcats. So we're set to get this one underway. Alex Falcone, the senior from Sellersburg, Indiana. 21 aces for the senior, and she'll get it this match underway. Beaver goes near side. It's dug out. Now a far side kill. It's going to be a net violation against the Bethel University Pilots, and Iwu has the first point of the match. It's 1-0.
Never a good start when your first point is a bit of a technical error.
Now Beaver with the set going to A.J. McDonald, and a nice placement on the first point.
Nice little soft touch there. Don't have to fastball it every time around. Switch it up a little bit, and you'll get plays like that.
We saw it a lot yesterday in the matchup over at IUSB, where it was nothing but strike, strike, strike with the physical kills. This time A.J. McDonald uses a nice finesse one here on the near side. A kill going cross court by Kelly Miller is too much for Peyton Hart to handle. It's a 2-1 lead for the visitors from Marion, Indiana. And speaking of Miller, she's back to serve. The former Northridge High School Raider with a nice serve. Beaver going to go right to the middle. It's blocked on the kill attempt by Grusdorf. Now going far side and going just out on the far side. Peyton Hart's kill looked like it tapped the line from here, but the officials have a better angle than we do, and it's 3-1. Miller again back to serve. Beaver a nice job getting it over to Grusdorf, and now a free ball goes to Iwu. And the Wildcats, who like to take advantage of these kind of situations, are going to find Allison Sparrow, and it's 4-1 Iwu.
And that was a beautiful play there by Iwu. They were able to sort of spike it down there at the end, and that's the change in physicality from earlier.
Kelly Miller back to serve. It's been all Wildcats in the early going, 4-1. Madison Beaver with a desperation save and another free ball for Indiana Wesleyan. And this one's going to get tapped over the net this time by Anna Collar. And it's 5-1.
Bit of a lack of communication there between the Pilots. They weren't able to set themselves properly, and that's what's going to happen.
So once again, Miller back to serve. She's done a lot of damage. This time it's a short serve, and it'll be a service error. And the Pilots will take that one, and it's 5-2.
It's a perfect opportunity for the Pilots right now. Just a little bit of a momentum shift can change the course of this game.
So now Bridget Downs back to serve. Falcone going to go far side with the kill, and putting it away is Anna Collar. Collar, one of 5 Iwu players with over 200 kills on the season. And Coach Weiss in the pregame show talked a lot about making sure that there was just not one player to focus on. And a block right at the net, nicely done by Rachel Klitzing. 80 blocks for the junior from Fort Wayne. 7-2 now. Punching it over is Sparrow. Beaver going to go near side, and it's nicely placed by Abby Armold, and it's 7-3.
And that's just a play that's very hard for Iwu to contend with, because it's such a perfect placement on that ball. It's really difficult to get back to.
It's now back into service, Kennedy Kintz. And it's going to be a point on the double hit, and it'll be 7-4. So a huge break for Bethel. As this time, service error for the Pilots, it's 8-4.
Not the mistake you want to make when you're handed a gift like that.
And Katie Weiss talking to her 5'5" freshman. Kintz gonna get the feed to Beaver, and it's blocked right back over the net. Rachel Klitzing, the block, 9-4.
Absolutely great defense by Iwu so far. They've blocked 3 shots up at the net.
Bring in Anna Collar, and that one's gonna handcuff Bridget Downs. As getting the ball over, now on the free ball, and slamming it home with authority is Klitzing, and it's 10-4. Serving again, Anna Collar former Hamilton Heights Husky. And slamming that one again is Klitzing. And it's 11-4, and a timeout will be taken by the Pilots. We're going to keep it right here. Beef O'Brady's in Granger is the place to go to before or after the game. Locally owned and operated for over 10 years. They're a family-oriented business featuring a private party room with seating for up to 60 people, along with an outside patio area that can seat up to 20 guests. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beefs has daily specials Monday through Friday and offers dine-in and carry-out service. They're also the place to watch all of your favorite sporting events. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com, or you could call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports.
Michiana's largest on-the-lot, ready-to-buy inventory is available at any of the Gates Automotive locations. Get friendly, fair, and honest service with a 100-year reputation at Gates Chevy World, Gates Toyota, Gates of Granger, or Gates of Elkhart. For more information, go to www.gatesautomotive.com.
Indiana Wesleyan up 11-4 as back to serve is going to be Anna Collar. And handcuffs Kennedy Kintz as it goes way up in the air. And another free ball this time for Iwu, and nicely placed by Alex Falcone. Yeah, she has over 1,000 assists, but she's also got 71 kills coming into this one.
Incredible. Bethel really has to keep sending it up that elevator shaft. They're sending it up too high.
And that's going to be a service ace. 13-4 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Collier now with the left-handed serve. Iwu once again with a chance on a free ball. Falcone this time goes near side, and it's going to fall. Again, Rachel Klitzing getting the point, and Iwu is starting to run away with this one. It's 14-4.
And I believe Iwu has found Bethel's weak spot in that back corner here.
And this is going to be run down by Kintz. And Bridget Downs is going to get that one over. And a miss hit by Kelly Miller makes it 14-5. That'll stop the bleeding momentarily. It's 14-5. Now back to service Mackenzie Williams. Falcone. And that's going to be a point on the double hit. It's 14-6.
And that's the third point that Bethel so far has scored on a double hit. And their offense really has needs to pick up some of the slack their defense is letting down.
Falcone tried to slam that over, but Kintz is right there. Now A.J. McDonald with a little finesse shot. As Falcone, that one gets punched over by Klitzing. Now Kintz setting it up McDonald and in, but the point is going to go to Indiana Wesleyan on the net violation. Now back to serve is going to be Abigail Rudd. Beaver going to go far side to McDonald, and a nice job defensively. McDonald to Downs, and a nice play by Mackenzie Williams, but it goes too long and wide. And it's now 16-6, largest lead of the first game for Indiana Wesleyan. Beaver going to go far side McDonald, and she puts it home. And Anna Collar, a little self-defense defense on the far side. Got her hands up just in time.
And you saw the difference in the Lady Pilots over on that play. They were able to set themselves before.
As Hannah Marie Dull's serve is too long. Second service error made by the Pilots. And again, that lead is back up to 10. Floating serve taken by Williams. Beaver going to go far side to AJ. Now here, near side kill is going to be dug out by Downs and will eventually fall. Kelly Miller.
There's that lack of communication again. It's just sending it sky high isn't going to do your team any good. No one's going to be able to get set, and you're really not going to be effective with the ball.
18-7 as a timeout is taken. We're going to take it with them. You're watching Pilots Volleyball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network as the kill by A.J. McDonald is blocked out of bounds or out of the timeout. And it's now 18-8 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Madison Beaver back to serve for the Pilots. Falcone near side and putting it down with authority is Kelly Miller. And it's 19-8.
And it actually looked like the Bethel players thought that the ball went off of her foot. They kept playing because they thought that the ball had gone off her foot and was still active.
Falcone with a serve, dug out by Downs. Beaver gonna go far side, and a nice little finesse kill is dug out. And a fantastic play by Falcone on that far side.
Absolutely incredible.
And that is the play that seals the point.
Very athletic play by Falcone to get it back into the game.
Falcone with over 190 digs coming in, and unfortunately for her, serve goes a little long. It's 20-9 on the service error. Second service error for Iwu. And Rachel Vendel, freshman out of Valparaiso, with a nice serve on the far side. And the kill goes in cross court by Kelly Miller. 21-9.
And so far, I think the key is that 5 of the Pilots' points so far have been either double hits or service errors, and then the Iwu defense is definitely coming out to play.
Kelly Miller with a long serve. Beaver going to go far side, and it's dug out. Downs, far side to Hart, and the kill attempt is dug out by Gates. Far side kill, didn't get a whole lot of it, but it was effective as Anna Collar puts down another point, 22-9. And Iwu 3 points away from taking game one.
And Gates has done a great job about setting up her players so far in this game.
Beaver going to go near side, and the block goes in. This time Collar and Allison Sparrow on the block. 23-9. Largest lead of the game so far. Beaver going to go near side. This one's going to get dug out by Gates. Falcone, far side kill is put away by Anna Collar.
And just like that, it's game point.
24-9 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Beaver going to go near side on the kill. It hits the antenna, and that's going to do it. So the Pilots fall to Indiana Wesleyan 25-9. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have first game analysis, and we'll get you ready for game number 2 as you're watching Pilots Volleyball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Maybe it was a big thing, like helping you land the perfect internship. Maybe it was something small, like offering a sympathetic listening ear when you missed your family. It might have been advice about your choice of major, spiritual guidance, or how to deal with roommate conflicts. Whatever it was, you knew that you were seen and heard. You walked away a little lighter, a little more confident, knowing that someone else was walking this journey with you. At Bethel University, we're more than an academic institution. Yes, we're proud of our internationally recognized programs. Students come to Bethel to be equipped for success in over 50 fields of study, from residential undergraduate to online master's degrees. But they stay because they're not walking alone. 7 in 10 residential students are active in one-on-one mentoring or small groups. From the dedicated faculty to friendly staff, everyone at Bethel cares deeply about helping you prepare for what you were meant to do. Because we all believe you're meant to do incredible things for God's kingdom. And it's true. Bethel alumni are active in 65 nations around the world. What connects you to Bethel? There's no question. It's the relationships and community that give purpose to everything you gain here. At Bethel University, we see you. At Bethel University, we know you, and we'll connect your passion with a pathway to impact the world for Christ. Be true. Be blue. Be you at Bethel University.
.700 on their hitting percentage. And moving on to the Bethel Pilots, Madison Beaver led the team with 4 assists and also tied for most digs with 1. AJ McDonald led the team with 3 kills. Unfortunately, the Pilots are at a negative .107 hitting percentage at the moment.
Yeah, 700 hitting percentage for Iowa is just absurd, as they ran and hit 25-9. And the Pilots now going from right to left on your computer screen or mobile device. They'll get the first point on the double hit. And the Pilots lead at 1-0.
Good start for the Pilots, and a good start for any team can lead to a lot of confidence. And that's exactly what Bethel needs right now.
And the game is quickly tied up at 1 apiece as the kill by Kelly Miller is blocked out of bounds. We're going to make mention that Madison Beaver, team high 45 aces this year for the sophomore from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
And that's really an impressive number, as it's higher than any individual player on IU's squad.
As Anna Collar, the former Hamilton Heights Husky, getting in on the action on the point. 2-1. Now Alex Falcone back to serve. Dug out by Downs. And Peyton Hart. Nice little dig by Abigail Rutt, and putting that one away right in the net is Allison Sparrow. Transfer from Columbia College. 129 digs for the junior. And they're quickly up 3-1. Falcone's going to go far side, and the kill is blocked back where it came from as Grosdorff and Fiedema on the block. It's 3-2.
Beautiful defensive play by Bethel there. Nice aggressiveness, really trying to shift that momentum back towards their side.
Grosdorff Correction, Rachel Vendel back to serve. Downs with the dig. Beaver going to go behind her back. Now Falcone gets it over to Collar, who puts that one away. And it's a 4-2 IWU lead. Is back to serve is going to be Kelly Miller. 5'11 senior, former Northridge Raider, 297 kills and 142 digs on the season. As Madison Beaver found a nice spot in the zone.
Nice little redirect play to kind of confuse the IWU defense that's been pretty stoic so far.
It's 4-3 now in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Falcone going far side, and that kill is going to get put away by Marcy Miller, another Northridge product.
Beautiful fastball to hit there, a lot of aggressiveness. And we haven't really seen them go to the soft touch tonight very much. They've just been killing it with that aggressive shot.
Allison Sparrow back on the serve. Peyton Hart sees that one dug out by Falcone, and miscommunication all over the place from Indiana Wesleyan.
That's really the kind of thing we've been seeing from Bethel all night. It's strange to see that from this this pretty organized IWU team.
Candace Moats gets up and has a couple of words to say to her team. Mackenzie Williams back to serve. We dug out. Now Falcone. Pilots with a chance to tie this set up. And it's going to be a net violation on the Pilots. That'll give the point back to IWU, who have had 4 different leads of 2 points. Now back to serve is Anna Collar. Dug out by Downs. Beaver going to go near side. And a nice try by Peyton Hart. Now a far side kill splits the block. And Marcy Miller has yet another point. And now IWU up by 3. It's 7-4.
And we saw that little soft touch there by Bethel, and so far it worked pretty well up to that, but it was a great job by the IWU defense knocking it back.
As this one's dug out by Collar. As a double hit gives the Pilots a point. 7-5. Now the Pilots, they've got to start stringing a couple of points together on the offense. They can't have IWU just constantly giving them errors. As Falcone beautifully sets up Rachel Klitzing. And that lead again up to 3.
And you called it. IWU isn't going to make a lot of mistakes. They're a really organized technical team, and I was surprised that they've made this many mistakes here in the early going. It's been a bit of a break for Bethel.
As Beaver going to go near side. It's dug out nicely. And another kill, this time tucked inside the line by Kelly Miller. And it's a 9-5 lead. Largest of this game. Just joining us, IWU 25-9 win. And a soft serve. Just gets caught in the net. It's a service error. 3rd service error for Indiana Wesleyan. And back to serve is going to be Hannah Marie Dull, the former South Adams Starfire. And it's a service error for the Pilots. That lead will move up.
And that's a play that the Pilots have to make, given an opportunity like that. That's definitely not a shot that they should be missing. That's a fatal mistake.
Peyton Hart's going to get that one over the net. Falcone is going to set up Gates. Beaver, McDonald near side, puts it home. 10-7.
And there we see the Bethel Pilots switch it up. They went to that aggressive shot, and it really worked. They're trying to confuse this IWU defense, and that's what's kept them close so far in this game.
A.J. McDonald with the big kill. Again, far side. This time dug out and put right back home by Kelly Miller. And once again, IWU back up to a 4-point lead. It's 11-7 as Falcone back to serve. Beaver goes near side, and that's long. Nope, they're going to call it a point. They're going to call it in. As the
Looked like it actually hit one of our referees in the shoe.
And it did. Is right now over to talk is Kelly Miller. The Wildcats get the explanation. Not to their liking, but the Pilots will definitely take the point regardless. And putting the next point home is Allison Sparrow. It's now 12-8. The fourth time in this game, Iwu has had a 4-point lead. They've yet to extend it to 5. It's Kelly Miller back to serve as they've gone through the first rotation. And that one's put right away by Grusdorf. 12-9.
It's good to see the Pilots staying in this game with a bit of aggressiveness, a bit of a soft touch, going back and forth on those hits.
Madison Downs back to serve. Falco nicely done. And they're going to say 4 hits. And the Pilots have now passed their point total from game number 1. It's now 12-10. Falcone goes far side. Marcy Miller splits the block of Fiedema and Arnold. And it's 13-10.
It's odd. We talked earlier about how Iwu doesn't make a lot of technical mistakes, but so far that's really one of the things that's been keeping Bethel in this game. And it showed again right there, the lack of communication, and there was an open hole in the defense. And Bethel took advantage of it.
Was that time Madison Beaver gets the point. Usually the provider of assists. This time gets a kill of her own. Pilots have 5 players over 150 kills, Madison being one of them. Nice dig on that far side. Gates goes up the elevator chute. This time the block goes out of bounds. And it's 14-11. Iwu looking to go up 2-zip in this match. Best of 5. And another service error.
It's going to be difficult for Iwu to go up 2-0 if they keep making service errors like this. Technical errors, service errors, they've been quite abundant in this second game here.
That is the 4th service error of the match for Indiana Wesleyan. The Beaver will go near side to AJ, and she'll nearly get that point. Now, hands just tapping the ball everywhere, and AJ is going to watch that one go out. It's 15-12.
And that was really a bit of a lucky break there for Iwu. They were definitely on their heels defensively, and they just really got a lucky break there from the Bethel side.
Abigail Rutt back to serve. And now free ball here for Indiana Wesleyan, and putting that away is Rachel Klitzing. 16-12. It'll be a timeout for the Bethel Pilots. Just to let you know, today's game on the Regional Radio Sports Network is sponsored by First Source Bank. Forget running to the ATM or mailing a check. Start sending money with Zeal. It's fast, safe, and easy right from your First Source Bank mobile app. Repay a friend for coffee easily with Zelle right from your First Source Bank mobile app. First Source Bank, your partners from the first with e-student checking. Contact First Source today.
Let Gates Automotive put a turkey on your table for the holidays. During November, take a no-obligation, no-hassle valet test drive and get a free turkey or ham. Choose from over 1,000 vehicles at Gates Chevy World, Gates Toyota, Gates of Granger, or Gates of Elkhart. For more information, go to www.gatesautomotive.com.
And Beef O'Brien's in Granger, it now features Build Your Own Burger Mondays. Enjoy a fresh Angus burger with lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, and mayo, plus fries for just $5.99. Beef's also has award-winning wings, salads, and wraps. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, they also have dine-in and carry-out service available and are open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, the website's www.beefobradies.com or call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports. Beef's also home to the Coach's Box every Thursday night on www.globeradio.org. 16-12 out of the timeout. As back to serve is Abigail Rutt.
Tried to get a little bit of an early start there.
And Madison Beaver tried a left-handed kill. Instead, it went into the net. And it's the largest lead of the second game for the visitors from Marion, Indiana. 17-12. Beaver going to set up A.J. McDonald on the kill. Gates with a quick dig. That could have been close to 4. As going cross court on the far side is Abby Arnold, and it's 17-13.
And Bethel will just not let this one get out of reach. Every time it seems like Iwu will get a little bit closer to pulling away, Bethel comes roaring back.
On the far near side, Falcone gets the kill to Klitzig. But right there is A.J. McDonald on the block. 17-14.
Pilots' defense has definitely stepped up here in this second game.
Arnold with the serve. Falcone near side kill is going to be slammed home by Klitzig. 18-14.
And that's practically an impossible shot for the Pilots to hit back. That's just a perfectly placed ball.
So Haven Gates on the serve. AJ's going to use a little finesse, and that'll drop. 18-15 in favor of Iwu. Candace Moach just shouting out some encouragement to her team. Katie Weiss' squad trying to even this match up at a game apiece. Gates with the desperation dig. A.J. McDonald goes near side, but it's just out of bounds. It's 19-15.
Missed opportunity there by the Pilots. That could have been a backbreaking point for Iwu, and that would have been a third in a row for Bethel.
It's Downs with the dig. Beaver gonna just see that one punched over by Fiedema. Now a kill just planted perfectly by Anna Koller. 20-15.
Here's that 5-point lead again. Let's see if IU can stretch this out a little bit.
Dug out by Hannah Downs. Madison Beaver. Oh, they're going to call a net violation. And the IU 6 on the floor looking in disbelief at the officials. But no, there was a net violation there. Vendel on the serve. Falcone, nice far court pass. Hart trying to kill this one and put it away, can't do it. Falcone, that's a perfectly placed set to Allison Sparrow. 21-16 in favor of IU. Back to serve is Kelly Miller. She'll go cross court. And it finally falls as Kelsey Grosdorff makes it 21-17.
I was continuously struggling to get past that 5-point lead. Every time they managed to get to that lead, Bethel comes firing back.
And again, it's Allison Sparrow.
Good to see some endurance here from the Bethel Pilots. They're not letting this game get out of hand. They're not letting it become a bit of a blowout.
Sparrow back to serve. Beaver, she'll go far side, and there for the block is going to be Marcy Miller. 6-point lead now for Bethel, and it'll be a timeout for the Pilots. We'll take it with them as you're watching Pilots Volleyball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
And right out of the timeout, Kelly Miller puts it away. And Indiana Wesleyan is a point away from going up 2-0 on the Pilots. And that's going to go, it's going to be deflected at the net. And it's now 24-18. Indiana Wesleyan thought that was cleanly out. But instead, the Pilots have new life. Mackenzie Williams on the serve. It grazes the top of the net. And the far side kill will be dug out by Downs. Beaver going to go far side to Armold. That's going to be too long. And that is the 25th and final point. And that will bring the second set to a close. It's now 2-0 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan as they take it 25-18. When we come back, we'll have third set action. We'll also have stats from set number 2.
Maybe it was a big thing, like helping you land the perfect internship. Maybe it was something small, like offering a sympathetic listening ear when you missed your family. It might have been advice about your choice of major, spiritual guidance, or how to deal with roommate conflicts. Whatever it was, you knew that you were seen and heard. You walked away a little lighter, a little more confident, knowing that someone else was walking this journey with you. At Bethel University, we're more than an academic institution. Yes, we're proud of our internationally recognized programs. Students come to Bethel to be equipped for success in over 50 fields of study, from residential undergraduate to online master's degrees. But they stay because they're not walking alone. 7 in 10 residential students are active in one-on-one mentoring or small groups. From the dedicated faculty to friendly staff, everyone at Bethel cares deeply about helping you prepare for what you were meant to do. Because we all believe you're meant to do incredible things for God's kingdom. And it's true. Bethel alumni are active in 65 nations around the world. What connects you to Bethel? There's no question. It's the relationships and community that give purpose to everything you gain here. At Bethel University, we see you. At Bethel University, we know you, and we'll connect your passion with a pathway to impact the world for Christ. Be true. Be blue. Be you at Bethel University.
Kills with 4. Moving on to the Bethel Pilots. Madison Beaver led the way with 3 kills as well as 8 assists. Only one other player with an assist on the Pilots team. And picking up 4 digs was Bridget Downs. And the Pilots moved into the positives on the hitting percentage side with a .182.
Falcone, 27 assists in the first 2 sets. That puts her over 1,100 for the season. What a remarkable total.
Absolutely.
For that young lady.
Absolutely incredible numbers. And
Beaver with 12 assists of her own. She's got over 770 on the season. You know, we see a great sophomore setter across the town in Mackenzie Powell for IUSB. Madison Beaver is going to be that exact same kind of player for Bethel. As now Indiana Wesleyan on the first point of this third game. It's finally going to go in the net. A great effort by Bridget Downs on the far side. And Indiana Wesleyan takes a 1-zip lead. And A.J. McDonald, a nice dig to get the ball over the net. Falcone is going to find Allison Sparrow, and quickly it's 2-zip.
And the Pilots can't let this one get out of hand earlier. They're going to be trailing the whole way, and that's really not how you want to be playing your game, because then you get sloppy, you make mistakes, and you even get angry, and that's going to affect your play.
And Falcone puts that one. Ooh, that one looked in from here.
And that's this. It is called. That's the second time in the game for Falcone with the service error.
So a lucky break for the Pilots to see if they can take advantage of that one. That looked in from our angle. And putting it away on the kill is Kelly Miller. It's 3-1.
Tough play to defend there for the Pilots. Perfectly hit. Really handcuffed her from the start, and there's not much she could do to set up her teammates with the dig.
Good crowd on hand here at the Gates Gymnasium. As Beavers now Falcone. She'll just dump the ball right over the net. Beaver gonna go far side. Peyton Hart couldn't get her kill to go. Now on the near side, and finally Pilots are able to get that one over. And putting it in with a nice cross-court kill from the back line is Kelly Miller. 3-point lead now for Indiana Wesleyan.
One of the main differences I've seen so far between this Iowa team and Bethel is that Iowa's really been able to get that downward trajectory on their kills, and they're really able to push that ball straight into the ground, while Bethel's really only been able to just simply hit it back over.
As a service error from Indiana Wesleyan, that's 2 service errors have been responsible for the 2 points. As Peyton Hart had to come out of the match. She was grimacing in discomfort as a service error by the Pilots makes it 5-2.
Not the play you want to see there from your libero, one of your top team leaders, and a service error that really crushes any momentum.
Downs to Beaver. Near side kill by Fiedema. And now putting this one away through the block is Marcy Miller. And it's now a 6-2 advantage. Iwu threatening to run away and hide again. Falcone. Kill attempt is blocked. Iwu now with a free ball. And Downs, great dig. And that one was just too much on the far side for Mackenzie Williams. And it's 7-2 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan University. A number 4 ranked team in the nation. Showing why they are worthy of that ranking. As Williams, nice dig. As finally popping it through again. And a huge break for the Pilots. That ball was probably going out on that far side by Allison Sparrow, but she didn't take any chances on it. And coming into the game is going to be Kennedy Kintz. Dug out by Gates. Far side kill. A nice little play by Rachel Vendel on the far side. And they're going to call a net violation on Indiana Wesleyan.
I'm interested to watch Kennedy Kintz back here in the near corner. They targeted her quite a bit early in the first game. Let's see if Iowa attacks her again.
And a block isn't enough as Marcy Miller powers it through. 8-4.
Impressive play by the Iowa defense so far, staying aggressive, and they haven't seemed to lost much endurance.
And Anna Collar puts an ace down right in front of Bridget Downs. It's the first service ace we've seen since the first game. 9-4 now in favor of the Wildcats. And a double hit on that far side. It's now 10-4. Largest lead of the game so far. Collar will get this one over. And that's just too much. And now a free ball for Iwu. Falcone going to put it right back to Klitzing. And it's 11-4. It's 7-point lead now for Iwu.
That was a great job of Iwu there, taking advantage of the free ball.
Now Kintz. Going to go near side. It's going to go long. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Pilots. We're going to keep it with them. Beef O'Brady's and Granger now features Taco Tuesdays. Enjoy 2 tacos, your choice of chicken, steak, or fish with chips and salsa for just $5.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road. Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com or call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports.
Every Tuesday and Thursday during November at any Gates Automotive location across Michiana, you can triple down and turn a $500 down payment into $1,500 instantly. Choose from over 1,000 vehicles at Gates Chevy World, Gates Toyota, Gates of Granger, or Gates of Elkhart. For more information, go to www.gatesautomotive.com.
12-4 as we come out of the timeout.
Been quite impressed by the Iwu defense so far, and really most of Bethel's points so far have come due to service errors or technical errors. The offense has seemed really a lot more disjointed than the defense has been.
Back to serve is going to be Anna Collar out of the timeout. And getting a point to find the soft spot in the defense, Madison Beaver with a kill.
And just as I mentioned how well that Iwu defense is doing,
Madison smoked that one, and that one gave Haven Gates all kinds of problems. Falcone coming near side, and with a kill of her own is Marcy Miller. So back up to 8 goes the lead, and Abigail Rutt, the junior from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. And she'll get a service ace. It's now 14-5. So this Iwu team averages about 1.5 aces per game, already above that average. A.J. McDonald sees Falcone get to it, and it's going to be a net violation on Bethel. And it's now 15-5. And Indiana Wesleyan is now 10 points away from notching their 29th victory of the season. Kintz, near side kill by Madison Beaver. Falcone gets the kill through the block of A.J. McDonald. And it's now 16-5.
Bethel Pilots are really letting this one run away a little bit. They've got to tighten up on defense and not let these hard hits affect them.
A.J. McDonald couldn't get all of that one as it goes right in the net. And it's 17-5 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Sebring Mack coming in, the Western Canadian native from Calgary, Alberta. As Beaver puts one right through the block. Nice job by Kintz to get her the ball. And it's a 17-6 lead for Indiana Wesleyan. Abby Arnold with the serve. Mack with a great setup. And the block goes out of bounds. (18-6).
Seen a lot of great awareness by the Iwu team, always knowing where the ball is, just as Bethel just did with that play right there.
And a service error. 2 service aces and 3 service errors for Indiana Wesleyan in this particular game. Iwu has won the first two, 9-18. Threatening to take game number 3 as well. A.J. McDonald on the far side as Mack. And that's going to be a double hit.
And I think we really saw a different Bethel team in the second game. They were a lot tighter on defense, and we mentioned the technical errors and the service errors by Iwu, and that helped. But they were also hitting it back on their own. It wasn't all service errors. It was a bit of a mixed bag.
So A.J. McDonald nearly put that kill away, and going out on the near side is Fiedema, and it's 19-8.
And there's that near side struggles that the Pilots have had in all 3 games so far. They've got to step it up on that near side defense.
Beaver going to go far side. A little too much for Grusdorf, and putting it home is going to be Anna Collar, and it's now 20-8.
And that's something that can be fixed in practice. That's continual practice, continual repetition, and that's a move that's not going to happen. And I'm sure Coach Katie Weiss isn't going to let that happen again.
Far side kill's going to split the block as Downs to Beaver. Goes near side to Grusdorf, and that's a great placement by the junior. Madison Beaver on the nice pass. 20-9 in favor of the visiting Wildcats. Rachel Vendel back to serve. Far side kill goes right through the block. Now Beaver. Far side kill is blocked again.
Great job keeping it alive.
And another nice dig. Mack goes to Gates. Far side kill. That's going to go off the antenna. And it's 20-10.
A nice back and forth there by the Pilots. They really managed to step it up on defense, hit it back a couple times, get a couple digs. That was an impressive play there by the Pilots.
So Rachel Vendel back to serve, former Valparaiso Viking. Mack. Oh, great dig on that far side by Vendel. Mack. This time the kill goes to Katera Keeler.
Beautifully placed ball there by Keeler. It's such a difficult spot to hit when it's so low on the ground. And
now back to serve is Megan Graber. And the point's going to fall on the kill by Grusdorf as Candace Motes is starting to empty the bench out a little bit.
This Pilots team is really starting to look a little bit more like that team we saw in the second game rather than the first. A lot tougher on defense. And
there's the kill by Samara Schleback.
Hopefully taking advantage of some technical errors and service errors here by Iwu.
So 21-12. Mack going to find a kill. It's going to be a net violation. And Iwu is 3 points away. Now Beaver going to go near side. And that one's just too much for Linnea Clay to handle. And it's now 22-13.
Good job by the Pilots there on defense, managing to keep this from being a bit of a runaway, keeping it a 9-point lead for the Wildcats.
It's Kintz with a nice block and dig. And that'll eventually fall for an Indiana Wesleyan point. 23-13.
And you like to see the dedication there by Kintz. You like to see the hustle. She didn't have to go all out for that play, but she did. She dove for it, and she put a lot of effort into it, and that's what you like to see from your players, no matter what the score is.
It's Downs will get it to Vendel. The ball will get over the net. Mack, near side kill. It's going to be a double hit. 23-14. We've got some high school scores to pass along to you. In the second quarter, Penn leads Portage 3-zip. Warsaw and Chesterton tied 7-all in the second quarter. The winner of those two matchups will play each other. Mishawaka Marion leads West Noble 21-14, and Jimtown leads Tippy Valley 14-zip in the second. As the point goes to Bethel, 23-15. Gates will get it to Mack, and that'll be 4 hits.
Bethel really crawling back into this one. 3 straight points, and they're taking advantage of a lack of communication by the IWU defense and seeing a different team here.
Mack now coming near side to Schleback, and that one will go through. And Indiana Wesleyan is a point away from ending this matchup. And that will do it. It'll be a service ace for Schleback. And the Pilots take it the Wildcats take it 25-16. So Indiana Wesleyan wins it 9-18 and 16, knocking off the Pilots in 3. The Wildcats move to 29-1 on the season, 15-1 in the Crossroads League. The Pilots 12-21 on the season, 5-11 in the Crossroads League. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have stats and analysis of the matchup, and we'll get you on your way as you're listening and watching Bethel Pilots volleyball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continued to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Manage your money like a pro with TCU. You can score big with the TCU Debit MasterCard that gives you cash back on everyday purchases. Plus, you'll win with access to hundreds of free ATMs across Indiana. Check out TCU's starting lineup of services to help you manage your cash and build your savings. Visit TCUnet.com to kick off your better banking experience. See TCU Debit MasterCard terms and conditions for details. Alliance One and Co-op ATMs within Indiana are free. New members are subject to a $7 membership fee and $5 initial share deposit.
Welcome back to the Regional Radio Sports Network's coverage of Bethel Pilots volleyball. JP Gibert along with Dante Stanton. The Pilots fall in 3, 9, 18, and 16. We're going to send it over to Dante Stanton, who has our final statistics for tonight.
That's right, and starting with the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats, we've got Alex Falcone. No surprise here, 33 assists on the game, team high. Moving on, Anna Collar with 10 kills, also led the way in digs with 11. Moving over to the Bethel Pilots, we've got Madison Beaver with 6 kills on the night, as well as 16 assists. Moving down, we've got Bridget Downs with 8 digs on the defensive side. And for team totals, as far as hitting percentage, we've got the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats with a .538, impressive numbers there, and a .093 hitting percentage for the Titans.
Centier players of the match. First for the Bethel University Pilots, it'll be Madison Beaver. 6 kills on the night, 16 assists on the game. She hit 400 in the matchup for the Pilots and for Indiana Wesleyan. You could take your pick up and down the roster, but Alex Falcone is one of the best leaders that we have seen at the NAIA level, and she showed it tonight, 33 assists. She also hit 429 offensively for a team that made only 4 attack errors all game long. They hit 538 as a team. That's going to do it for our coverage of Bethel Pilots volleyball tonight. I want to thank our partners from Beef O'Brady's, Gates Chevy, as well as First Source Bank and the United States Marine Corps. Once again, the final score, the Pilots fall in 3, losing 25-9, 25-18, 25-16. Indiana Wesleyan moves to 29-1 on the season, 15-1 in the CCAC Conference. Bethel falls to 12-21, 5-11 in conference. For my broadcast partner, Dante Stanton, this is JP Gilbert saying thank you so much for watching Bethel University Pilots Volleyball. The next broadcast of BU Volleyball will be tomorrow afternoon when the Pilots take on the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene University. 2 o'clock is the first serve, and pregame show will be at 1:40. Paul Condry, Ron Haklinski, and Tanya Condry on the call. From all of us at Regional Radio Sports, have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Bethel and Mount Vernon Nazarene.